I did not know this about this hero. I don't think a lot of people do. I just got her flame relic yesterday and I started playing her, and it's not even about the flame relic. This is what I'm kind of disappointed about. I should have been using her because I have her chivalry 8. It has nothing to do with the flame relic. It has to do with her passive at chivalry 8 to be able to extend dots. All dots on the enemy, and she can apply bleeds. Those are dots. Damage over time is what those are, and there's also a small component to each damage over time, which is amazing. But look at what she's doing. This is the final boss in the event, and it's a little grainy because this is a recording of me playing it. She is extending her bleeds as well as Lancelot's burns, and that's all we have to do on this boss is load up with a whole bunch of dots, and then this guy's going to die when he takes a turn. Same thing with Gorgos. But look at this. Whenever she takes a turn, she's going to extend every single dot. So whatever we had up there, she just extended all of them. It's busted. And then this guy's going to die. We're going to take her into Gorgos, of course. I'm going to show you there. And then I'm going to take her into the bear, the big frost bear. I'm going to play her in there as well. There's a whole bunch of bosses that we can cheese and do this with. We could even do this on Taurus, the cat. So we'll do a lot of follow-up videos with more speed so she can take more turns and extend more dots. The only caveat is she has to have chivalry 8 to do this. Other than that, she's still S tier. With chivalry 8, she is SS God tier for what she can do right here. Here's all the stats. If I've been talking and you're not paying attention, here are the speeds. Okay, no boots on Guinevere. It doesn't matter. She's there for the points. These are all the stats and the speeds if you want to do this for the in-game boss. Thank you for all the support. If you're not a supporter, use the links down below. Come and join us and get free rewards every single month. Skill 3, we've got a 355% attack. That's why it's so strong. We don't have to put any books into it. And we've got a 60% chance 2 times to apply a bleed. She has to have a bleed up for this chivalry 8 to work. And the way this chivalry 8 works is that it changes how this one passive, it adds to this one passive. This is Blood Frenzy. Whenever you use her skill 3, she's going to get this ability, 100% chance to apply a bleed on a single enemy. So she's already applying more bleeds. So it really doesn't matter if we're playing with her flame or not, right? She's applying bleeds along with a chance to apply bleed in every single one of her relics with her skill 3. But the chivalry does this other part, increase the duration of all dots on the enemy. As long as there's a bleed, it has to be a bleed up. So if you're playing her and you're like, whoa, Stu said it's increasing all the dots, as long as there's a bleed and she applies bleeds. But she doesn't always, not everybody does. Sometimes you get resisted or you don't hit that 60% to apply it. So if you don't see a bleed up and you see a whole bunch of burns from Lancelot and you're trying to do that, that's why. Once she gets a bleed up though, she's going to keep amplifying that bleed, more turns, more turns. Lancelot's more turns. If you want to play her with Anguish, more turns. It's really crazy. And she can do this every turn. Isolde can do it with a passive of hers whenever she casts her skill 3, extend all dots, but there's a long cooldown on it. This has 0 cooldown. There are crazy things that I'm going to show you later on, not in this video, that we can do, and it is wild with how many of these dots we get up. And if you want to know what each dot does, like what each different dot, damage over time, bleed, chill, all of those, right here. Damage taken increased by 2%. And this does stack. We tested this on stream today. I went in and we did damage, crit with a skill 1. We put up 1 of these and we saw the additional damage with 2% added. And then we had 5 of these up and we saw the additional damage with 5 of these up. So it does work. Like all these bleeds work. And I think Lancelot's burn does, one of them does attack speed. I think the chill does attack speed and Lancelot does decrease attack, which is very strong because when we have a 10 of these on the boss, from putting up so many every turn, from increasing their turn with Rosier and her chivalry 8, we get 5% decrease in attack. That would be 50% less attack that boss is hitting us with. And it is doable, and I will show you that it's doable. So that on its own is insane. And then if you go over to chill for Anguish, Anguish is slow speed, like decreased speed. So as long as a boss can be slowed, which this is not an attack gauge knockback. This is actually a slow. So this should work on almost every single boss out there. Because a chill does attack speed by 5%, lowers the attack speed by 5%. And if you have 50% less attack speed, it will work if we can get enough chills up from Anguish and then just keep extending them every turn with Rosier, with that passive, with that Chivalry 8, and with her also applying bleeds. So what I'm going to do on my free-to-play is I'm going to start playing her for sure, and I'm going to put all my Chivalry into her to get her up to Chivalry 8, and I'm going to go into, since I don't have her Flame Relic right now, I'm going to go into either Wind or Frost because I know I have both of these. This one will do a 60% chance for a 2-turn bleed. She'll apply that 1 bleed, and then she'll start increasing the turns, and then this is a 2 hits, I believe. 2 hits at a pretty high rate here. 50, 60, 70% chance, 2 hits. That's not bad either. I just will be missing out on this extremely high base attack. So when I take her outside of wanting to cheese out bosses like this, when I go out anywhere else and I want to do massive damage, that's why you want her, for this right here, for that massive damage. We're going to go over to Gorgos again to see how powerful this is, how crazy it is that she's just adding over and over to these dots. And then we're going to go to the polar bear, which takes 90% less dot damage, and we're going to beat him faster or as fast as we beat that bear with Bedivere. That's how much damage she's doing with these dots. That's how many stacks we're getting up with these damage over times. And again, I didn't need her Flame Relic to do this. I got her Flame Relic yesterday. She's S tier. If you guys are free to play, low spender, you don't have Bedivere, and you see Rosier's Flame Relic, get it. It's 355% damage. You don't have to put books into her for her Flame Relic ever to make her stronger. Will it make her stronger? A little bit. You get a higher chance to apply your dots, which are great because we're extending them like crazy as long as you have Chivalry 8. And if you're free to play, you're going to get to Chivalry 8. I'm free to play 5 days on my other account. And I've got at least 300 of those silver tokens to increase chivalries in rares. So you're gonna get there. Should you work and do this with her? I would. If I can, you know what? I'm gonna do it on my account anyways, on my free-to-play account. I don't have her Flame Relic, but I don't need it. As long as I get the extension of dots in her Frost and in her Wind. Say I put some skill books in there and get those extended, then it's still going to be great. I won't have that upfront damage that she does, but I'll still be able to apply dots and extend dots. Look at that. Did you see all of them? Gorgos doesn't have a chance. Just like that. 2 turns, 3 turns, so many. Each damage over time does something. Slow speed, additional damage taken, all sorts of stuff, and each of these stacks actually amplify that. So if you saw those burns up, each of the burns that Lancelot does, that's 5% less damage that the boss or whatever you're fighting does. And they do stack. We tested this on stream today because I just got her, so I wanted to test everything. These do a 2% additional damage taken for a bleed up. So for every bleed we have on right now, this boss will take 2% additional damage. If we have 10, they're going to take 20% additional damage. That's how crazy all these stacks are. Not only is it doing a massive amount of damage based off of the HP of the boss that we're fighting, well, here it's taking 90% less damage. If you look at this boss and look at what it does, like the immunity up, 90% less dot damage. There's also dragons that we fight that have immunity to damage over time, so we can't even use her in that one. But almost every single other boss we can use her in. She's that strong. And with this, being able to take this bear out as fast as you can do it with other people that do raw damage, because this bear has such high defense, is pretty cool. And I've got her in her flame right now. I could do this run. We could do this run. I'll show you the stats after this. I'll show you the other relics. We could do this run with her other relics as long as we max it out. Flame is still the best to apply dots. It has the highest percentage chance without books. With books and some of her other ones, the Frost and the Storm, we can do this, but we just need to put books into it. That's why she's so good. If you get her Flame Relic, again, use her. Use her as your main DPS. If you don't have Bedivere, absolutely Flame Relic, use her as your main DPS, use her everywhere. If you're going to use her like this, yeah, you're going to put her in a Vigor set like I have her in with accuracy, because all we're worried about doing is applying all these dots and amplifying how many dots we have, taking them to 2 turns to 3 turns so we can get so many stacks up. Now, during the middle of this, she got frozen. And if you get frozen, then a whole bunch of them dropped off. Like all these dots dropped off. So we're not going as fast. Like this is a 3-minute and 50-second run. I've done a 3-minute and 18-second run with her. And then I bring my Bedivere in, and that's like a 3-minute and 35-second run. It was a little bit longer. with Bedivere. Even when I can do massive damage when the bear goes to sleep and I get the decreased defense and all those things, still, she is so wild. Let's go over here and look at what we can do with this beautiful lady that I just got. I'm so happy that I started playing her today. I'm so happy that I found her flame relic after 35 days of looking for it in early access. I need to go check my free-to-play to see if it's over there. Let's hope my free-to-play account can get her soon. You guys let me know your thoughts on this. Extending all dots as long as there's a bleed every single turn. It's massive. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate all your love and support. Come and support me over in the content creator program if you would. The links are all down below. Appreciate your time, your love, your support, and I will see you all in a video soon.